Hey there, this is a Diana counter video intended to fill you in on everything you need to know to deal with Diana when she's on the opposite team. If there's a champion you find yourself struggling with in your solo queue games and you're tired of banning it, then feel free to drop a comment and let us know. If you're interested in learning more about Diana or any other champion, then head on over to the Mobalytics website where you can see everything you need to know, including builds, combos, pro builds, tips, and more. So first off, what does Diana do? Diana is a mobile AP assassin dealing huge AoE damage to her opponents. She can engage, escape, dive, or dash effectively and often, dealing massive burst damage in skirmishes, teamfights, and duels. Diana can take down structures rapidly due to her passive and itemization options, making her a strong split pusher. Let's hone in on her strengths. The strengths are that she has a highly versatile kit that can fit into any composition. There's an absurdly fast jungle clear time, allowing her to get around the map, collecting experience and farming rapidly. She has immense single target and AoE burst, allowing her to thrive in any fight scenario. She also has huge snowball potential and can be very hard to shut down. Now looking at her weaknesses, she's not very effective in multiple target scenarios until level 6. Building full offensive items leaves her vulnerable, and she's reliant on hitting her Q for burst, especially in the early game. We're going to dive in specifically how to counter Diana at each point of the game, but first here's an overview of the major tips that we will be breaking down further in this video. So first, dodge her Q. It's as simple as that. Diana cannot reset her E if she misses her Q, leaving her very vulnerable, and you should be able to punish her for it. Don't get hit by your ultimate. Despite Diana's ultimate dealing tremendous damage, it gives you a chance to react to it once she casts it. Make sure you use your movement cooldowns, flash, or immunities to avoid that damage. Don't let her flank. Diana will always be looking to get a big teamfight ultimate off or assassinate a high value target. Make sure to ward her out and be aware of her whereabouts. Don't leave her to take structures. Diana takes structures in a heartbeat, especially if she builds items like Lichbane or Nash's Tooth, alongside the damage that she has from her passive and the free attack speed. Look to abuse her when her cooldowns are down. Diana's burst comes from the combination of her kit and her passive. When she's missed her Q or wasted a Pale Cascade, which is a W, this is your chance to punish her. If you're going into a game against Diana, those are solid bases to remember and will help you be successful. Now it's always good to think about when a champion is strongest or weakest. Diana is by far the strongest in the mid game when she's picked up a few damage items and can start team fighting. She deals amazing AoE bursts and CC and is very difficult to deal with. Despite Diana still packing a punch early game, this is by far her weakest part of the game. Her damage goes up very quickly with only a few items, and her ultimate contributes significantly to her burst potential, so pre-6 is when she's most vulnerable. Now let's hone in on Diana's early game. So during this time, she'll be annihilating the jungle and clearing camps as quickly as possible. She'll likely be pushing for that early level 6 and then look to immediately start fighting. Use this window to look to invade her and gain a lead. When invading her, try to time your initiation around the use of abilities. When a shield is down and a Q is being used to farm, this is when you should engage. If Diana is coming to gank you, the most important thing is to dodge her Crescent Strike. Diana's Q is a unique skill shot that fires in an arc, so understanding the direction that it takes is key to learning how to dodge his ability. Be aware if her teammates set up CC, as she will likely wait for that to land to guarantee her Q hits. You can also look to secure an early dragon before Diana is ready with her ultimate, as this will make it a lot harder for her and her allies to contest it. Finally, Diana's strength in the jungle at the moment is just how quickly she can clear, get to level 6 and abuse her XP lead. So leaving her alone in the jungle is exactly what she wants. You should try to counter jungle and put her behind as much as you can before she has time to ramp up and do what she does best. Next, let's look at her mid game. In the mid game, Diana will have a few damage items and be looking to start team fighting as early as she can. She'll prioritize contesting dragons, rifts and even barons, and then look to gank lanes when there's an opportunity to secure multiple kills. Be aware that fighting over objectives may not be the best option when Diana is prepared. Try to catch her off guard beforehand or play around her when she's preoccupied elsewhere. Try to avoid Diana's ultimate in the mid game teamfights and be ready to punish her when it is on cooldown. If you can bait out her ultimate and then look to re-engage, this is the best case scenario. Diana's ultimate is paired with other unique AoE CC abilities. It can easily form a one-bug combo and instantly kill you and your whole team. Look to CC her. As with most champions, CC is the best way to deal with them. This is definitely the case with Diana in the mid game, as she thrives when she can get the perfect ultimate off. Try to use your CC to keep her out of the fight or even prevent her from engaging in the first place. Although Diana's dash is rapid, it is interruptible, and keeping her away from your backline is essential. Finally, we can look at her late game. In the late game, Diana will look to mimic her mid game playstyle, but with even more damage and burst. We'll want to follow the same guidelines as we discussed in the mid game, but also think about a few extra things to keep her under control. You'll want to keep the vision control up in the late game, as Diana will often be looking to get behind you and your team. She'll be doing anything she can to find a big AoE ultimate, so don't let her surprise you with a flank from the fog of war. Carry blue trinkets and remember to set up control wards and brushes where you're looking to play around. One last thing to mention in the late game is how Diana has the potential to 1v5. Make sure you're peeling away from your backline and splitting up when she engages. Yes, you will likely have a Zhonya's Hourglass, but that doesn't mean you can't kill her before she uses it or just when it's timed out. Be really cautious about AoE CC tools from the rest of the team, as that can set her up to get the ideal ult with very little counterplay. In the later stages, a big ultimate from Diana will just completely destroy your team. Now let's take a look at itemization. So first off, Zhonya's Hourglass or Stopwatch. Stasis is an amazing effect against Diana. Timing it correctly can remove most of her burst, and this also gives you a chance to stall and wait for your cooldowns or your teammates. Magic Resist. Any major magic resist items like Force of Nature or Spirit Visage are a perfect way to lower her damage. Lock at the Iron Solari. An AoE shield for you and your teammates, a great option to bring down her damage in teamfights if you time it right. Shurelya's Battle Song is another support option that you can use, mostly just to kite and split up so you aren't caught in her engage and you're able to escape her ultimate. Hex Drinker, Mortimer Mortius, Sterak's Gauge, Immortal Shield Bow, all of these items pack a huge shield which can save you from Diana's burst. That wraps everything up for our Diana counter video. If you enjoyed this video, then you can find more counter videos on our website or in the playlist link below, and be sure to subscribe to be alerted for when we cover a new champion. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you again.